The announcement of the 2026 ICC Women's T20 World Cup schedule does more than simply organize match dates. It marks the beginning of what could become one of the most influential tournaments in the modern history of women's cricket. England will host the 3-week competition, bringing together 12 national teams at a moment when global interest in the women's game continues to grow at an unprecedented pace. Stadium selection, competitive balance, and broadcasting reach all suggest a tournament designed for worldwide impact. Over the past decade, women's cricket has transitioned from a developing product into a commercially relevant global sport. Major cricket nations have invested heavily in domestic leagues, athlete visibility, and youth development programs. Hosting the tournament in England, a country with deep cricketing tradition and strong infrastructure, reflects the ICC's strategy to maximize attendance, media coverage, and international engagement throughout the competition. The tournament format reinforces competitive intensity from the very beginning. 12 teams divided into 2 groups of 6 will battle through a demanding round-robin phase, where consistency becomes just as important as individual brilliance. With only the top 2 teams from each group advancing to the semi-finals, there is little margin for error, especially among traditional powerhouses expected to contend for the title. Group 1 immediately stands out as one of the most competitive pools ever assembled in a Women's T20 World Cup. Australia, India, South Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the Netherlands create a mixture of elite contenders and emerging challengers capable of producing unexpected results. Every match in this group carries potential semi-final implications, turning the early stages into high-pressure encounters. Meanwhile, Group 2 presents a different dynamic but equal intrigue. England, playing at home, will face strong opposition from the West Indies and New Zealand, alongside ambitious sides such as Sri Lanka, Ireland, and Scotland. The balance between experience and opportunity could transform this group into a proving ground for teams aiming to redefine their position in international cricket. The tournament officially begins on 12 June at Edgbaston in Birmingham, where host nation England faces Sri Lanka in the opening match. Beyond tradition, opening games often set the emotional tone of a World Cup, and England enters under considerable expectation. Playing at home brings both advantage and pressure, as supporters anticipate a deep run toward the final at Lord's. Edgbaston's selection as the opening venue highlights the importance of atmosphere and accessibility. Known for passionate crowds and historic cricket moments, the stadium is expected to deliver an energetic start capable of capturing global attention. Early momentum for the host nation could shape ticket demand, television audiences, and the competitive rhythm of the tournament's opening week. However, attention quickly shifts toward one of cricket's most emotionally charged rivalries. On 14 June, India and Pakistan will meet at the same venue, a matchup that consistently transcends sport. Regardless of rankings or recent form, encounters between these 2 nations carry immense psychological weight and global viewership numbers rarely matched in women's cricket. For India, this match represents more than a group stage fixture. It is an opportunity to establish authority early and send a message to the rest of the competition. Strong performances in high-pressure games often define championship campaigns, and the team understands that early dominance can shape confidence moving forward. Pakistan, on the other hand, approaches the contest with the motivation of disruption. In tournaments where qualification margins are narrow, a single victory against a major rival can completely reshape group standings. That reality makes the India-Pakistan clash one of the most strategically significant matches of the entire opening phase. India's schedule reveals a demanding journey through Group 1, beginning immediately with high-stakes competition. After facing Pakistan, the team will meet the Netherlands on 17 June in Headingley, a match that may appear manageable on paper but carries hidden risks. World Cups frequently punish teams that underestimate emerging opponents. The encounter against South Africa on 21 June at Old Trafford could become a decisive moment in the group standings. South Africa has steadily developed into one of the most tactically disciplined sides in women's cricket, combining aggressive batting with structured bowling strategies. Matches between these 2 teams often hinge on small tactical adjustments rather than overwhelming dominance. India then faces Bangladesh on 25 June, also at Old Trafford, in what may prove crucial for net run rate calculations. In tightly contested groups, statistical margins frequently determine semi-final qualification. Teams must balance winning comfortably while managing player workload during an intense tournament schedule. Perhaps the most anticipated challenge arrives on 28 June at Lord's, where India will confront Australia. Historically one of the strongest forces in women's cricket, Australia represents the benchmark for championship consistency. A victory in this match could redefine tournament momentum and potentially determine group leadership. Taken together, India's fixtures create a narrative arc filled with rivalry, tactical tests, and psychological challenges. Success will depend not only on star performances but also squad depth, adaptability, and the ability to recover quickly between matches in a compressed tournament environment. As the group stage concludes, attention will shift toward the Oval, where both semi-final matches will take place. The decision to host the semi-finals at a single iconic venue emphasizes the spectacle element of the tournament. By this stage, fatigue, injuries, and tactical evolution often play as large a role as raw talent. Knockout cricket introduces a completely different psychological landscape. Teams that dominated earlier rounds must reset mentally, while underdogs often thrive under reduced expectations. History shows that semi-final matches frequently produce unexpected heroes and dramatic shifts in tournament narratives. The condensed pathway from semi-final qualification to the final intensifies preparation demands. Coaching staffs must analyze opponents rapidly, manage recovery sessions, and maintain emotional stability within squads facing enormous global attention. Margins become razor-thin when elimination is only one match away. The ultimate destination is Lord's Cricket Ground, scheduled to host the final on 5 July. Known worldwide as the home of cricket, Lord's provides symbolic significance that elevates the championship beyond a standard tournament conclusion. Winning a World Cup final at this venue carries historical prestige few arenas can match. For players, lifting the trophy at Lord's represents more than victory, it signifies entry into cricketing legacy. Every team entering the competition understands that 3 weeks of preparation, sacrifice, and performance ultimately lead to a single defining moment on this historic ground. Beyond competition results, the 2026 Women's T20 World Cup reflects the accelerating global transformation of women's sports. Increased investment, expanding fan bases, and rising broadcast numbers indicate that women's cricket is entering a phase of sustained international growth. This tournament may serve as another turning point for visibility and commercial expansion. England hosting the event also strengthens cricket's European footprint, exposing new audiences to the women's game. Strategic venue distribution across major cities allows organizers to connect traditional cricket supporters with newer generations discovering the sport through international tournaments. For emerging teams such as Scotland, Ireland, and the Netherlands, participation alone represents progress. Competing against established nations provides invaluable experience that can reshape long-term development programs. Upsets are not only possible, they are increasingly expected as global competitiveness improves. For powerhouse teams like Australia, India, and England, expectations extend beyond participation. These nations carry the responsibility of maintaining performance standards while helping drive the sport's popularity forward. Their matches often determine global engagement levels throughout the tournament. Ultimately, the 2026 Women's T20 World Cup is more than a schedule of matches written on a calendar. It is a reflection of how far women's cricket has come, and a glimpse of how influential the sport could become in the years ahead as new champions, rivalries, and global audiences continue to emerge.